You've heard of Google, you've dabbled in it, you've recognized some of the things I said when I had my little rant just now. Okay? Okay. You have a Gmail account. All right. All right. A couple of things we'll have to do. Today's kind of a work independently as I talk class, so as you're looking at your device taking notes, I'm not going to get offended. This is a tech class, so I expect everyone to be doing that. But for in order for us to proceed today, there's two things that we have to do. Number one, we have to download Chrome. Okay? Now, before we get to that, I have what we call todaysmeet.com/Google Apps. This is for our class and our class only. So if you want to go to this website, todaysmeet.com/Google Apps, you want to log in. This is where we can ask questions. This is where I will post links. So if I have something I want to share with you that you want to store later in your bookmarks, I'm going to post it here, and everyone will have access to it. Okay? So on your device, there's no writing.
I'll get you some markers.
Okay.
You guys, while he's getting a marker, just to let you know, this session is being recorded. So just be aware that, you know, if you're going to say anything negative about your principals, whisper.
On your device, you will want to download Chrome. So that means on your iPad, go to the App Store, look for Chrome, Google Chrome, search for that. Just go ahead and download that. If you have a desktop, you'll want to go to google.com and just search for Chrome. And I want to start with Chrome, if I spell it correctly, because there's a lot we can do with it that you probably don't know about. Why is Chrome blocked? That's not going to help us. So google.com/Chrome, that will allow you to download the application and install it, if you don't have it already. I'll give everybody a moment to do that.
What did you say to do it on here?
Go to your App Store.
I didn't get the email on that on your device.
Oh.
But I know that Chrome is in my phone.
Okay, then you're good to go. Do you have a Gmail account?
I do.
Okay, you'll need that account. You don't have to sign in now. After you download Chrome, if you don't have a Gmail account, you will need one. Now again, I don't want you to confuse Gmail with Chrome. They're two separate apps. The Gmail application, whether you choose to use Gmail or not, is irrelevant. But your Gmail sign-in is your ubiquitous sign-in for all Google apps. Good. Everything's good over here. Okay. If not, you can work on your desktop today. Because once you get signed in there, it'll show up there after you have it.
So how does it?
Yeah.
I have one for school, one for.
Gmail. Create your Google. Create an account. You good?
Is that good enough to use that marker?
Yeah, I'm good. Yes.
You don't need red or blue or green.
Nope, because I'll go back and forth. Okay, so some of you are working on downloading Chrome. If you don't have a Gmail account, you'll want to create one. Create your Google account. I'll post the link. Notice it doesn't say Gmail, it says create your Google account. That's because, as I've already said, Google Gmail account, just easier for me to say that, to sign in everything. Now, if I'm going too fast, Raise your hand, tell me to slow down. Work together as a team. Yes. No, that would be, go to your, do you have a Gmail? Google. Okay, sign into your Google. Cool. Coffee is good.
What did you do when you was blocked?
Oh, I clicked on add.
Probably heard by now there's an accident on Bush.
Is this the only session?
I have a 10:30 too. Yes.
Yeah, let me go. Quick. I just didn't see it.
Am I gonna need a partner? Or?
Well, it might be helpful if you want
Oh,
to
you
join
are?
with
Is there
somebody.
another one?
Right now, we're downloading Google Chrome, unless you already have it. And then if you have a Gmail, sign in.
Oh.
Okay?
Yeah, I was just wondering.
Raise your hand if you need a little more time. Okay? So if you're bored at work, Google is filled with what we call Easter eggs. Now I'm going to share some of those fun little Easter eggs with you. Some of them are a complete waste of time, like this one, where you can actually turn your desktop into a Pac-Man. Okay? So I'll share some of those just for fun. The rest of it will be work related. But yes, you can actually turn your Google desktop into a Pac-Man.
The maps was fun.
But that one is just simply Google Pac-Man. And when you click to play, you can play Pac-Man. That was fun. All right. Where are we? Need more time?
A little bit.
Okay. Want to make sure that everyone has.
So are we supposed to be where you're at now? Or?
No, you don't have to be. Where we are is, I want to make sure everybody has Google Chrome on their device. And I want to make sure everyone has a Google account. So those are the two things to be working on. If you have Gmail, then you have a Google account, which means you have a Google Plus, whether or not you use it, which means you have a YouTube account, whether or not you use it. It also means you have a Google Drive, whether or not you use it. But I'll explain all those things. Today, what I'm hoping to accomplish in our brief time together is a little bit of Chrome, a little bit of Drive, and a little bit of Docs and Sheets. Troubles? You good? You good? Do you have a problem on your device?
I just got one.
Oh, you're using it. Okay.
Sure. Says, okay, I put in, it's like I'm signing up again, that's me. And that's my email address, that's my phone number, so I
Okay.
can. So what can I do to get there and make sure that I?
You do have a Gmail account?
Yes, I do, I just don't.
Oh, well, there wouldn't be a space there. Is it that?
Oh, is it on?
Okay, well, it looks like you're already signed in. Is that you? You just click on it. I'm sorry, please. Let's do this, let's create a new Google account. So sign out of here. And sign in with a different account, so. No. Sign in. Add account. Create account. Your Gmail account should have a gmail.com extension. So just create it. Sure. Anyone else?
If someone already has that username, maybe I would go back to the original with that instead of Debbie.
No, just try other names, other variations. I want you to create a whole new account.
I have one for school, it's my first and last, and then kids can find me, share things, and then I have my personal, my Facebook. Cause I don't want my kids seeing anything crazy.
All right, we good? We good? All right. Everyone go to Chrome. Have a web browser up, if you would please. That is blank. Like you are ready to search. Should look like this. It looks like this when you're not signed in. So what does that mean? Well, Google Chrome allows you, user, to sign into Google Chrome just like you would any other application. Now, why would you want to sign into Chrome? Well, because Chrome does a couple of things. One, it keeps track of everything you do. Whether you like that or not, it's actually kind of cool. Keeps track of your search history, keeps track of your bookmarks for you, keeps track of just pretty about anything that you're doing online. Okay? Now, how do you know you're signed in? Well, there's two ways to sign in. I'm going to sign in here. And that's me. And of course, I keep mine up and running all the time. Anyone else have this one?
Yes, I did. I had to change my password.
All right, good. So I'm signed in. Why am I signed in? How do you know I'm signed in? Because there's my face. My face is right there. It tells me I'm signed in. Another place I know I'm signed in is if I click on what we call the 3 hot dogs. Over here up in the corner, I've got my arrow on it. There's 3 little lines. Google doesn't like to call it hot dogs, but that's kind of what they are. That little box pulls up a menu of options for us. If I click on settings, it's going to tell me whether or not I'm actually signed in to Google Chrome. And here I am. I'm signed in as Dr. Jerry Burkett at Gmail. Now, why is this important? Well, this is important because let's say I pull up Google Chrome on my iPad. Everything I'm doing here today, I'm going to be able to see on my iPad because I'm signed in here too. Google keeps track of it on all of my devices. If I'm not signed in here, my iPad won't know about it. Okay? So that's something you'll want to check. The second reason why I'm showing it to you is because if you decide you want to log into Google Chrome on a computer that's not yours, you'll want to go here to disconnect the account so that someone else isn't using your Chrome. Okay? Make sense? I know some teachers travel, they move back and forth to different devices, and maybe if I was to log in here on this computer, I don't want to leave it for someone else to use or see or browse. I teach at DBU also, and so I use my Google Chrome account a lot there. I always have to go in and disconnect the Google account so nobody else is using it. Okay? Make sense? So you'll want to double check that. While we're here in settings, you can see you're signed in. You can check your history up here. Extensions. We'll talk about that in a moment. And also your general settings. Now again, Chrome, yes, it's mostly a web browser. That's what it's designed to do. But what if you don't like Google's web capabilities? Google lets you change it. What kind of search engine do you want to use? Bing, Yahoo, Ask. You can change that here if you want to. In fact, if you use more than one search engine, Google will let you do that. Okay? I'll let you play with your settings later. And even if you want to get fancy, you can download various themes. I had a Matrix theme for a while. Ran in the background. Looked like the Matrix, all the code running. So you can search the Google Chrome store for that. We won't get into that today. That's a whole other session. We can spend all day on Google, really good. Okay? So that's your basics there. All right. So I'm going to sit, because we're going to do some searching. So I'm signed in. Is everyone kind of signed in? This one here tells me that somebody liked me on Google+. We're not going to talk about Google+ today, but if anyone's curious about that. All right, so basic Google. This is basic Google. Up here, there's my name. There is a quick link to the Gmail app. I could click here and check my Gmail if I wanted to. Here's a quick link to Google Images. We'll do some Google Images in a moment. And then I've got this tic-tac-toe looking box here. If I click this, it's going to open up a menu that shows you all of what I call the Google Suite, S-U-I-T-E, of apps. Now again, that's why we call this Google Apps, because Google produces applications that we can use. Chrome is an app. Gmail is an app. Google Plus is an app. So you see all of those here. Google Play is their store. Google Drive is like Dropbox. We'll do some of that today. Google Calendar. YouTube is now owned by Google, so they are connected now. Google Maps. And there's even more. Google Translate. When I was a principal, I used this all the time when I was in bilingual classrooms. When I would check the statements on the board so I understood what's going on. Google Wallet is like Apple Pay. You can load your credit cards to it, pay things online. It's also kind of like PayPal, Google's version of PayPal. Blogger is a Google blogging site. If you are a blogger, you can sign up for this. It's also connected to your Gmail. Photos, you can load all of your photos online. You can do that. And even more. Google offers all of these applications. Google Earth, Google Scholar I've used from time to time if you're looking for particular journal articles, you know, Journal of American Medicine, Journal of Higher Education Authority, that sort of thing. That's all those there. Forms and Sheets, we'll get to that when we talk about Drive. Google Slides is Google's version of PowerPoint. Google Drawings, Docs, and so on. Well, there's a lot here that we could use. All right, so let's talk about Google Chrome.
I have a question.
Sure.
I'm using an iPad and none of those things are up at the top, so where do we find it?
It would be different for you, and I'll show you that later.
Okay.
All right. Let's just talk about basic searching right now. So I've got my cursor in the box. Google calls this an omnibox. And Google allows us to search from this box here in the middle or up here right in the URL box. We can search in either one. So put your cursor there, and I'm going to give you a search term. Timer. If you search timer, Google will produce one for you. You can set it 10 seconds, 10 minutes. Google will start a timer for you. Or how about the time? Local time, 8:57. Google knows where we are because it is GPS enabled. So if I'm going on an Alaskan cruise this summer, and if I was to search Google time, it's going to give you the local time wherever I'm at, so wherever my device is at. Okay? About the temperature. 77 degrees and climbing, miserably humid, not much wind. Or how about a calculator? You wanted all of a sudden needed a calculator? Google has one. Maybe you didn't remember what Google looked like back in 1998 when it was first launched. Maybe you'd like to show your students what it looked like. If you search Google in 1998, the page will change, and it will show you what it looked like almost 20 years ago. By how things have changed. That's a little Easter egg. Google is a very powerful search engine. Someone give me a search term. Anything. What would you search in your classroom?
Inflation.
Well, what kind of inflation? Kind of inflation you want to buy things about, or you just want the definition? Hyperinflation calculator?
Hyperinflation.
Hyperinflation. So I got a definition for you. Okay. How about Canada? If I'm searching countries, what Google's going to do is going to give me as much information as it can possibly put on one page for me very, very quickly. I didn't ask for the Canadian flag, but it gave it to me. Because Google doesn't really know what I'm looking for. All I said was Canada. That's all I said. So it's going to give me 2.4 billion results in less than a second. That's pretty powerful. But what if I put quotes around Canada? Or quotes around Canada flag? Now I'm getting everything related to those two search terms by itself. By putting quotes around it, it tells Google, I want to get specific. And I can use those quotes independently. So let's say Canada, hockey. Well, I could have told Google I want to search hockey. It would have given me hockey worldwide. But because I put quotes around the term Canada, I'm now getting Canada hockey only. I'm not going to get anything else. I'm not going to get United States hockey or Russian hockey or Olympic hockey. I'm getting Canada hockey.
How much narrower is it if you took away the code from Canada and you just left it Canada? That's pretty specific.
Right. We got a few more results by doing it. But if we were to put a very, very large search term in this box, nothing comes to mind right now. But we can ask Google questions too. So, you know, how to tie my shoes. You can ask Google questions. If you wanted to get specific within that phrase, then put quotes around it. How to tie my Nike shoes. Maybe you've got a pair of shoes that has some interesting way of tying it, you know. It's got those weird strings. If you want to get specific within a search term, you can use quotes to do that. Okay? You'll also notice that as I search and I throw things in here, and I'm just kind of throwing whatever I want to the box, because I'm signed into Google Chrome, it's keeping track of it for me. It's saving it. Jerry wants to know how to tie his shoes. All right? And then maybe future search terms are going to be related to this. So Google is smart enough to sort of already start filtering out those things for you before you even finish typing into the search box. That's kind of scary. Let's search Texas. So again, 1.1 billion results in less than a second. What kind of Texas are we looking for? Wikipedia comes up a lot because, well, they sponsor it. So I could go directly to the Wikipedia page here. Or maybe I wanted Texas Education Agency. Well, you know why that came up second for me? Did it come up second for anybody else? Did you search Texas? I'm just curious, because I go to TEA a lot, so I'm wondering if it's second for me because Google knows I go to TEA a lot. Okay, so Google has now tailored search results based on my search history. It will do the same for you. Texas.gov, or maybe I wanted news about Texas. I mean, we're about to get flooded out because of some hurricane. Maybe we want to know more about that.
Is that because you're just in Google or because you're in Google Plus?
No, I'm not in Google Plus. Here's some information about Texas, destinations, maybe I want to travel. Google doesn't know exactly what I'm looking for, so it gives me some options. So if let's say I want to tailor those options. I've got a menu up here that I can go to. So if I click on news, I am now only going to get news about the search term Texas. Now keep that in mind. The search term Texas. Google doesn't know what Texas is. It's not that smart. It just knows it's a series of characters. But when those characters are put together, it's Texas. So I'm going to get news about Texas. Obviously, we're about to, there's a hurricane, so that's big in the news. Pipeline ruptures, I didn't even know about that. Okay, so this is good for current event stuff.
Where's this hurricane?
Right now it's off of Yucatan.
Yeah, it's coming to us on Wednesday, Thursday. 5 or 6 inches of rain.
Yeah.
I thought there was one that was, in Florida or in Yucatan or the Pacific Ocean. I heard about that one.
If I click on Maps, it's going to go to the Google Maps application. It's going to pull up Texas. This is great for world geography, history. Google's smart. It put a big red line around Texas for us so it stands out. If Texas wasn't the search term, It's not gonna do that. So Texas. So then from here, of course, if you've used Google Maps before, you can put in directions. There's a Lord of the Rings joke with maps. No one cares about that. Try it. No, sorry. You can do several things with maps if you wanted to. Okay. I can click on images. And again, all Google knows is Texas. That's all Google knows. So anything tagged, any picture tagged with the word Texas will come up. Now let me caution you about images. My safe search is on right now, thankfully. If safe search is not on, you can use your imaginations as to what could possibly come up, even with the word Texas. Okay? So I want to caution you, if the classroom, if you're using this or if students are using this, make sure safe search is on and explicit results are being filtered. Okay? Within images, I can get specific. I didn't want these rangers. I'm teaching a Texas history class. So you might have to scroll a little bit. Or you get even more specific.
So it doesn't show us the Washington Senators, it shows us.
Right, right. Pretty awesome technology. Now, one thing happened because I got specific, Google got specific. Notice I went from Texas to Rangers. It added a shopping link. Before, I wasn't shopping for anything Texas related, but now I have a link for that. Google is getting into the shopping business just like everybody else, but all Google wants to do is be a resource for you to search for things that you want. So if you're looking for something, use Google as your way to get there, and it's going to show you some options, whether you're buying from East Bay, Under Armour, MLB, wherever. Videos. I caution you with videos as well, just like I did with images. Make sure your safe search is on, because again, with videos, there's no telling what will come up. But again, Google is using the search term in the Omnibox, and it's going to pull up any video related to the Texas Rangers. I'm going to take Rangers out and go back to Texas. I also want to impress upon you the power of Google Chrome. 93 million results in 0.34 seconds. That's amazing. That is truly amazing. All right. Any questions on Google? Google Chrome.
All of those searches you just did could be done without the Google Chrome aspect, correct?
You're right. They could be.
Okay.
They could be. But
I know that's not your intention.
no, the advantages are, again, with Google Chrome, it's all saved for me. So if I'm teaching 6 classes a day, it's all saved in my history. I'm signed in. It's a lot easier for me to pull up what I just searched. So when I do this class at 10:30, I do Texas, it's all going to come up in purple. They're going to know I did it for you guys.
A lot of applications on different things, like I teach online, and we have to use Google Chrome because the other search engines aren't powerful enough to do it, to show the videos.
And that's the other thing. It's the power of Google Chrome. Because the tie-ins with all the other services that it uses, it makes, I think, Chrome the most beneficial web browsing engine possible.
When it's their first priority. When things get updated, Chrome is first, and
Right.
then everything else is second.
Yeah, and if we were to do an advanced Chrome class, then I would show you some more advanced searching options with Chrome, how to create your own search engine, that kind of thing. Okay? Because Google Chrome can do all those
You
things.
can't do that now?
I can't do that in an hour and a half. In fact, we gotta move on. Okay, so that's some Chrome basics. I'll give you another Easter egg. If you search tilt, these are just for fun, really. If you want to annoy somebody, search tilt, and it tilts the screen.
Oh, that's really funny.
Coach, the screen is messed up.
Did you do barrel roll?
Search do a barrel roll, and Google will do a barrel roll.
Do a backflip?
Do it again.
Will it do a backflip?
I don't know. I don't have that one. And the one that makes me laugh, because I think the people at Google get bored. If you Google recursion, it asks you, did you mean recursion? Because recursion means to do something again. But I think they just do that to annoy you. Did you mean recursion? Yeah, I searched recursion. I meant recursion. Okay, just some silliness. Oh, one more silliness, and this one's great. I assume everyone knows who Kevin Bacon is.
Yeah.
I was hoping that everyone would know who Kevin Bacon is, and so you're familiar with the 6 degrees of separation of Kevin Bacon. You're familiar with that. Okay, Google has already got that figured out for us. If you search Bacon number and an actor, it gives you their Bacon number on the web. Tom Cruise's Bacon number is 1. And it tells you how he got there. Again, this is just silliness. This is what you do when you're bored on your conference period, okay?
You can't handle the truth.
I really was trying to find somebody that had a Bacon number larger than 2, and I couldn't find anybody. Somebody throw an actor at me.
Russell Crowe.
Who?
Russell Crowe.
Oh, yeah, I searched him.
What
They were
about
the
James
same.
Taylor? He's on the
Tom Hanks.
Russell Crowe's Bacon number is 2.
Workload bacon.
Tom Hanks' Bacon number is 1. They were in the same
all
group.
13.
All 13. Anyway, that's just funny. It's stupid. It doesn't enrich our lives at all. I just think it's funny. All right, so let me add those here. You've got Bacon number. You want to impress your friends with that one. You've got tilt. You've got recursion. There is a I think there is a video. If you searched Google Easter eggs, there is a couple of links for that, and that's what those are called. Google Easter eggs. I want to show you one more thing with Google that I think might be helpful in your classroom, especially if you're working on a device or a computer where more than one person might be using it. If you click on the hot dogs, there's a link here that says New Incognito Window. You've gone incognito. What does that mean? Incognito means you're able to search, browse, go to the web, do whatever you want to, and Google will not keep track of it. It keeps it all a secret. So maybe you're checking your bank account at work. Maybe you're doing something privately. You don't want it saved. You don't want the information captured. This is a good way of doing that, particularly on a device that is not yours. Okay? So you get there by going hot dogs, new incognito window, and Google will not keep track of it until you close the window. Okay? Any questions on Chrome? All right. Next is Drive. I want everyone to go to drive.google.com. Drive.google.com. Someone loves Google Drive. That's great. How many of you use Google Drive? If you go to drive.google.com, it's not going to look like this because this is my drive and I got a lot of stuff there. Okay? How many of you have heard of Dropbox? Good. Google Drive is the Dropbox, is their version of Dropbox. Okay? There is an app for Google Drive. You're welcome to download it now if you want. Okay? You're welcome to if you want. If not, you can get to it from the website. Okay? Here's what's great about Google Drive. I could be anywhere in the world and my documents will be there. As long as I have an internet connection. I can be on any device and my documents will be there. I can share any of these documents that I've created with any of you right now in this room, and you will have access to it until I take that access away. This is a very beneficial tool that we have got to exploit if we're collaborating with professionals or if we're collaborating with students. This is a great way to do that. Okay? So what is Google Drive? Well, again, it's like Dropbox, which is basically a virtual online storage place for all of your documents. Okay? No longer have a reason to carry around a flash drive. I think flash drives are now dying because we've got Dropbox and Google Drive. Here's some coolness about Google Drive, though. If you're using Google Documents, you can tell whether or not you're using Google Documents by the little symbols. Google doesn't count those. They let you store them for free. It doesn't count against your storage space at all. So if you're using Google Sheets, Google Slides, Google Docs, Google Forms, any of those, Google lets you save them in your drive for free. However, if you choose to store anything else, like a Word document, an Excel spreadsheet, a PowerPoint, a photo, any of those items, Google will then count it like your Dropbox would. Does that make sense? So Google is then, in a sense, encouraging you to use their applications because they cost you anything. They cost you storage space. Okay? Savvy? Awesome. From your Google Drive, you can access Google Docs, Google Forms, Google Sheets. And the way you do that is, up here, we got a New button. We're going to click New. It's giving us some options. I'll let you pick Google Docs. You now have an online Word document. I hesitate to call it Word because it's not Word, it's a Google Doc, but the functionality is exactly the same. You can type a letter, you can type notes, you can type anything you want. You can even type a private message with somebody and share it with them.
What's the interface with Microsoft like?
Microsoft will import it as a Word, Google will import it as a Word document, but it looks just like this.
You can, can't you, because I have my kids, they have to format it to Word to print it. Or do you
Yeah.
have to do that?
You don't have to do that.
I usually have to do that to print it.
You don't have to do that. You can print it. You can print it normally too. You can convert to PDF. You have that option.
Yeah.
Okay?
Is this a live document where?
It is now.
you see what each other?
Yes, and if we had more time and if I knew everyone's Gmail, what I would do is I would share this document with all of you.
Group and they can type it.
Okay? So what I did is I could share this with others. So let me just click done so I can show you. This is what makes this collaboration piece very, very cool. So like you're working with another professional on a project and you want all of your notes to be in the same place, your notes are going to be in your drive, their notes are going to be in their drive with one shared document. The way that works is you click on the share button in the corner, and you can then share after you title it. We'll just call this. You can share this document with anybody you want. If you want to practice that now, do that at your tables because you can just share the document. I would recommend one person do the sharing, just get the Gmail accounts from everyone else. Y'all comfortable with that? So let me walk around and help you with that. So you click share.
I had a kid share with me, share with me. They'll either put it in there, or they can share with me on here, whichever one they have. But I've already erased everything.
You use that Noto? UCC?
No, we use Blackboard. No, it's out.
Yeah.
But a lot of them, it's easier for them just to share with me on the drive, but when they're doing research papers. Right before they're supposed, I'm making sure they're in, but right before they print, they can share it with me, and then I can sit there and make corrections on the side. Or we can, you know, they share it with me, and I'll tell them at this time I'll be online, so if they want, because yours is.
All right.
But yeah, our, Susie Hall.
Good, we good, we good.
I wanted a picture
I
from
asked
the
her
vacation.
last
So
time.
should we go back?
So right before at the very beginning, they said, Google Drive. And then they can share stuff with me, and sometimes they'll send you notes. through that.
Dr. Burkett?
Yes.
Someone watching from home had a good question in your today's
Somebody's
meeting.
watching from home?
Yeah. Yeah, if you didn't want to come today, you could have stayed at home and watched the session online. How many free gigs do we get with Google Drive?
I believe it's 5. 5.
I think they've upgraded. I think it's actually now 15.
It says it's 15.
Oh, really? Wow.
It was
Yeah.
5 when I went to Google training last year, so they, yeah, 15. And even still, 15 gig is a lot. I mean, that's a lot that they're giving you. But then they're still storing your Google stuff for free.
And Dropbox for free is how many gigs? I believe it's only 2.
Yeah.
So you get a lot more storage.
Okay.
So you want to do share?
Share with each other. If you want to share with me, then I'll show you.
I know, we're even famous.
So, give it a name.
Okay, so
Share
is it?
Sure. Yep. Sure.
She's sharing.
Okay, now go to Drive. Go to your Drive. Did you already share that?
And I wear them.
Yes. Sure.
If you do Gmail or Gmail.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, 8-hour training.
Sure, this is Gmail.
Do the 8-hour training.
Are there any limitations as there is?
Oh, yeah, I know. That's cool. I know you have that all figured out. Yeah. It's great.
Someone, can I have someone's Gmail? Someone, anyone?
Debbie Sue Peterson.
S-O-N or S-E-N? to check the screen. I shared this document with Debbie. To kind of give you an idea, I know Debbie's online because I see a D in the corner. And she is responding right now from her laptop. This tells me Debbie is online. If I was to share this with someone else in the room, you would also have an icon. It would be a different color. Here's what makes it even more cool. Even as Debbie's typing, I can type too. It's showing up on here and showing up on her document. Here's what makes it even more cool. I don't have to save anything. I'm not clicking a save button or anything. It's being saved as we work. So if I close out of this document and Debbie keeps working, I'll go back into my drive, which is where it's located now. And I'll just click recent. Here's the document is right here. I'll go back into my drive 2 hours from now and I can see what Debbie's done.
So I shared something with you, but.
Yep, you shared something with me. So
is
yes.
that the same, do you see what I'm?
Shared with me.
What if you don't want it saved?
Then you can trash it. Out of your drive, you can trash it. You can just drag it to the trash.
But they got the other one.
But they'll have the other. Yep. Am I going too fast?
So when you trash it, does your stuff delete off of theirs, or does it still remain?
No, it still remains.
Okay.
You just no longer have access to it. So again, don't confuse Drive with Docs. Drive is the Grand Central Station for that access. Okay? Google Drive, you can get your Docs, Google Sheets, Google Forms. I'll show you those two in a minute. But I wanted to show you Docs because I'm now working collaboratively with two people in the room. One document shared with me sharing another document with a professional in the room, and we can work back and forth together.
Can they edit your stuff? Or-
Yes. Yes, they can. If you gave them, if you allowed them to do so.
And how,
Okay, so let me show you that. Notice when you click, so I'm gonna go back to let me go back to this. I'm gonna click share. I have options here. When I click the share button, if I give you access to this document that Debbie and I are working on, maybe I don't want you to edit it. Maybe I just want you to view it. Because then you won't have ability to delete anything that we said. Or maybe I want you to comment on it. So that gives you a chance to make comments, type notes, but you can't take off anything Debbie and I have worked on.
so can I, like right now I'm looking, and I just put, I changed it from can edit to can view.
Okay, so now I can just view it.
So you can, if I do, you can still, right?
Yeah, you can change people's
Oh,
access.
wait, try it again?
Yeah, try it again.
Can you,
Did you change me?
yeah,
Yes.
so now you can, well, how come you can still?
You can comment on these comments.
Oh, but you can comment, but you can't edit what I've already done.
Right.
So you can dial in the
Yes.
trust level.
See, access denied.
Okay, so like if I share this, like I'm doing an itinerary for a trip this summer, that's it. So somebody can comment, no, let's not do this,
Yes, then they would click comments,
But they can't change it.
but they can't change
but
my.
they can't change it.
But they can comment on this document.
Yeah, they can comment. What I would do is I would highlight Corvo, where's that? You know, and then I would write my comment. But you didn't give me permission to add comments. Apparently I'm just a viewer.
Oh, so I would have to change it to
Yes, so I'm just a viewer on this document.
can comment.
All right, now.
So that's dialing in your trust level, basically.
Yes, it is. And if you're doing this with your students, you know, like, hey, I'm gonna share this document with you, but I don't want you to change it. Now you're basically granting access rights. Debbie added a friend to our document that I shared with her. That person is located here in purple. Now I know that. Now we got another person working on our document. So I started the document. Debbie has shared it with someone else. How did she do that? She shared it out of her Google Drive. And it will be there forever until the nuclear holocaust. And all that's left are mesquite trees and cockroaches.
Does the person you share it with have to have a Gmail, or you
Yes,
can share it?
that's the
Have
key.
to.
They have to have a Google account. And that Google account has a Gmail extension that we have. Okay? So this is Docs. So what you've learned now is Chrome, Drive, which really, guys, you're just going to have to play with Drive. Okay? We don't have a lot of time to get into it. I'm telling you, Google should really just be an all-day thing for us. But this is your Grand Central Station for Google Docs. And now I'm going to show you Google Sheets. If you click New, and go to Google Sheets, you now have a Excel spreadsheet. An Excel looking spreadsheet. Again, this is not Excel, this is Google, but the functionality is the same. All of your codes that you would use for Excel work the same way. So if I entered a series of numbers, and I wanted Excel to add them up for me, that functionality is there. So I'm working on a spreadsheet. I can share this spreadsheet with another individual. I'm going to share it with Debbie because we already have a sharing thing going. She's going to be an editor. How does Debbie get that? Well, two things. One, she's going to get an email notification that someone has shared a document with her. Two, she's going to go to My Drive, click on Shared with Me, and that's how she'll get it. This is the spreadsheet version. Docs, you'll probably use more often, but if you want to collaborate using Google Sheets, knock yourself out.
Several years back, Kathy Nichols helped me to make some tests on Google Docs. Years back. Can we share, just like you just did, a test or something that we've created?
Sure. Yes.
If I go,
If you go back to Drive and you click New and click Google Slides, you will see Google's version of PowerPoint. It's the same functionality, except it's Google's version. The themes aren't as great, but who cares? If you're looking for a presentation tool that you can then share with other people and they can edit, this functionality is the same. You click on Share after we save it. I can then share this document with another professional or student. But again, the key, and I think this is why the district is reluctant, you have to have a Gmail account. And we don't use Gmail for students, we use Gaggle. Okay? This is why I believe the functionality of this as professionals is better served between teachers and other professionals. That's why. Because of the last 5 things I've just shown you, are your minds already racing what you could possibly do? And I even showed you how to do everything. Okay? My job, or my hope today, was to kind of give you a little bit of some little Easter eggs so that you'll go home and practice. Okay? Because there's so much you can do. Even personally too, believe it or not, with docs, like she's sharing an itinerary for a summer travel. She's going to share that with other people and tell me.
They use the Google Forms to create, to do a survey. And
Yes, so that's the next thing I'm going to show you. Or the last thing today is Google Forms. We're going to click New, More, Google Forms. So everyone go to your Google Drive, click on New, More, and Forms. Google Forms. What is a Google Form? Google Forms are actually pretty cool. You ever heard of SurveyMonkey? Okay, Google Forms is SurveyMonkey on steroids. SurveyMonkey on a free account allows you 10 questions, I believe. Google Forms, many as you want. As many kind of questions you want to ask. You can do surveys, you can do test questions, you can do information gathering. We can have different types of questions, text, checkboxes, grid. You can do different themes. I send out a lot of surveys and information. I'm going to kind of show you one I've created already. One of the things I'm working on for the district is I'm working on vendor fair. You guys are familiar with vendor fair? We go to Ruthie Jackson in August every year. Okay. I'm working on vendor fair, so right now I'm working on trying to get vendors for that. So what did I do? I created a Google form, and I asked for their name, email, street address, what kind of services do they provide, how many tables do they need. I put all these questions in. This is what it looks like when they click on the link. So then they enter their information, their name, so on. They enter all of this information. I've made those questions required. How do I see the information? Well, it pops up in my Google Drive, and it pops up as a Google sheet. It populates it for me. So all the information that I asked for, the company name, email address, it's all populated into a spreadsheet form that I can then edit and wait for it, and then share with anybody that I want. So all that information gathering, and for those of you who are thinking, man, I want to use this for tests. Maybe I want to send an online test home. Well, look what it did. I didn't ask for it, but it created a timestamp. It told me when this individual submitted the information.
This is what she showed me how to do years back, and grading it is such a cinch.
Yep, it's awesome. So now I've got all this information for vendor fair in one location. So Google Forms allows you to create basically an information gathering hub. When you complete it, here's how I do it. There's a button up here that says View Live Form. This is what it looks like on the web. You then copy this link and send it to anybody. So I've now sent it to all of you. You can go look at my incomplete Google form, which is this. Questions, comments, concerns, or complaints?
I have a question.
Okay.
You were just, when you went to Drive, you were finding those documents and pulling them up. Is there a file system?
Yes, you can.
I just didn't see it.
On Google Drive, if you click on New, you can create folders.
Okay.
Okay? And I've created folders up here for some of my grad school classes I teach and other things. I'm not as organized here as I should be. You also click Recent, it'll show you most recent work. That's when your Google Drive gets as large as mine, that's usually what I have to do. But I do have folders. I added a Google training folder for you guys. So, you've seen Chrome, you've seen Drive, you've seen Forms, you've seen Docs, you've seen Sheets. Anything else you want to see? Or do you want to play? You got 20 minutes.
Wait.
I feel like I should show you one more thing.
You said we would automatically be connected to YouTube,
Yes.
and why wasn't that?
you're signed into Google, you were signed into YouTube. The only really functional, how does this make your Google life functional, is two ways. One, your search history. My son and I watch YouTube all the time, and we're like, okay, perfect. Again, because it uses the Google search engine, we're like into Dude Perfect and car crashes and stuff like that. That's what we're watching. I got a 7-year-old little boy at home, so we're watching all of the trick shots and Russian car crashes. We're watching all that stuff. Google knows that, YouTube knows that, so it's giving us all of that. Hey, since you like that, you probably like these videos too. Okay, that's one thing, the search engine. Two, your subscriptions. If you like different types of YouTube channels, it's going to save that for you. We're a Disney family, so we look at Disney parks information all the time. Devin Supertramp is one of those awesome YouTubers that we look at. And the third reason is if you have your own YouTube channel, you can manage it from YouTube as well. So if you have videos that you're creating for students, or you're your own YouTuber, you know, put videos out there for the world to see, you can manage that through your sign. So that's the three big reasons. Other than that, YouTube is still just YouTube. But on Google steroids.
Okay, like I just was trying to share a link, and it says, share a document, and it says get shareable link.
Yes, that's
So
another way to do it.
I click that. Can you share that link on like a Moto? Or
Yes, okay. So that's another way to share documents and stuff, particularly with people who don't have Google accounts.
So I could share that itinerary, but
Right.
they could only view it.
They can only view it.
Okay.
They'll view it on the web.
Okay, so that's a good way to share.
Yes.
this.
So here's what she's talking about.
And I have another question. If you have linked some accounts that have Gmails and you want to share a document, do you have to know their Gmail, or is there a way I can like just enter their names and it'll come up, or?
Well, again, Google saves out all that information, so that's why it was easy for me to pull up Debbie as quickly as I did, because I'd already shared a document with her. So as you continually share documents with people, Google's going to save that. So if you're collaborating with the same people over time, you'll be able to pull that up.
But like, for example, I just linked my 2 daughters to my Gmail account, but I wanted to share a document with them. It won't do it by their name.
No.
So I have to. So the first time I have to do it.
Yes, the first time you have to do it, but in the future, again, that's the advantage of being signed into Google Chrome. If you're not signed into Google Chrome, it won't do that. What she's talking about, that shareable link, I'll show you again. If I was to share this document with some folks, again, get shareable link is in the corner. Google will create a unique URL for that you can share with anyone. Email, at Moto, Facebook, wherever.
It's kind of like when you have a private YouTube channel.
Right. Works the same way. You
Yeah.
can have a private YouTube channel. If you're, and we have one, like when my son was a baby and we got family in Florida, we would upload the videos and then share a private link with them so they can go on and look at it.
So would that be safer with our students, because I have kids that they make their own videos.
Right. Yes.
Yes. On YouTube, but they're for the world.
Right. And YouTube, it wasn't my intention to really get into YouTube today,
Sorry.
but YouTube, no, it's fine, because YouTube has value. But there are ways to lock down YouTube, there are ways to lock down some of those links, there are ways to make things a little more private, so yes. I wish we had more time. I really do.
So-
Hour and a half is not enough time.
So I have a question. Like I told you, I linked my daughters, but I'm looking for their Gmail account, and I don't know how to find them. Do you understand what I'm saying?
You have to send them a text.
Yeah.
So I send them a text, so I can't get it from this.
No, you're gonna need to have their Gmail account.
So even though I linked them as part of my, like if you'll come over here and I'll show you what I'm doing.
One way to do that would be to go into your history, your email history, and if they've ever sent you anything, you can go into the search
See, like,
and find them that way.
I have her here, but how do I find out what her?
email list? Because you're in Google Plus.
Okay, I have no idea where that. So, I just know that somehow I ended up attached to it.
This is you.
Right.
Alright.
So how,
This is
my daughter.
When you get along, well, what's?
So, like,
I'm in Great Prairie, so I guess. I won't go that way.
see, I'm in her, right. So but how do I get it? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, it's not. Is that her profile or that?
Yeah, that's your. Okay, I'm sorry, I noticed at the beginning of your email.
Figured out these outlines.
Sure.
Yeah, that's.
Come to the screen and go back in.
Okay, so that's when you click the hot dogs, like in this case, the 3 dots.
I go.
Settings, and let's get that. That way you can always send it. Make sense? Got it? How many people are watching online?
I had checked.
So can we use that to get credit for stuff like this?
Yes, we had all this week planned out so that you could do that. We had certain sessions like Dr. Burkett that we were going to do that with. We ran into some technical issues with the library and some of the other rooms. So this week, more or less, we're just testing it out to make sure that it works. But that's what we're striving for, yes.
It's gonna be archived.
They will be archived,
Supposed to be.
Yeah, I'm recording the session on this back computer, and I'm also streaming it live. Once I hit stop on the record, then we'll upload it, and it will be archived so that you can go back and watch
Oh, that's cool.
Prove that we're here. All right, let's see if there's anything else you need to know.
No, I'm doing one Thursday, it's really 3 hours.
All right, I'm going to show you one more Google app that you might want to play with. One more. Close out all these documents. So that now, this next Google app is really something that, again, with the time that we have remaining, it's not going to be something that we can dive into. But if anything, I want to show it to you so you can play with it. Because again, hopefully, if anything you've learned today, the functionality of Google is very, very easy and intuitive. Okay, so let's say you guys want to create your own website. Google Sites is how we do that. So we're going to go to sites.google.com. Now, I already have several Google Sites, and so that's what you're seeing. And again, because I'm signed into Chrome, this is what I'm going to see. So I'm going to put this on today's week.
It says, Google Chrome wants to use your confidential information stored. Is that always allowed?
Yes, that's okay. Sites.google.com. Okay, now I'm going to show you what one looks like, and then I'll give you a chance to create one. So again, I told you I teach graduate school for DBU, so what I often like to do is create my own little small websites for my students. So when I post information or whatever I need the students to know, I have a place for that. So let's look at my school law class. Basically, here is a small little website that I created through Google Sites that has all of my school law information on it. So when I teach school law, I've got it all right here. I've got a discussion board that we used. I can post homework assignments. I can upload resources, I can upload materials. And again, here's what's cool. If I upload materials, I can pull it from my Google Drive. So I add a file from Drive. It's going to ask me which file in my Google Drive do I want to add. Again, ubiquitous use back and forth.
Doesn't have to be though, right?
No, it didn't have to be. I could pull it from my Dropbox. I could pull it from my, doesn't matter. Syllabus. So what I've done basically is created a unique website just for my school law class. Now, it's a public site. You guys could go to it right now and look at all my school law stuff when I teach this class. That's up to you, because it is a public site. But Google allows you to create websites that don't have to be public. So again, we could spend all day on sites, but I wanted to kind of give you an Easter egg. So if you go to sites.google.com and click create, you can start the process of creating a classroom site or
Athletic site.
an athletic site or my school law site, or let's say you did a vacation, your Albuquerque vacation. Now you can create a
It's not
website.
vacation. It says trip, a
Okay.
school trip.
Okay, well, you could create a Google site for that. You could create a website that has links to pictures and videos and
Oh, cool.
itinerary and information. You could create a site for that.
But do they have to have a Gmail account to?
No, they don't. That's what's cool, because it becomes a website anybody can go to.
Okay, that's good.
Okay. Brenda Townsend used Google Sites to create everything for the Nature Center. She started that project last year. So what Google Sites then allowed her to do was all of the curriculum resources, pictures, safety information, she could put that in one place. So Google Sites, great way to build a website, very small, very intuitive, very easy to use. Going to be a little time consuming depending on what you want to use and what you want to put on it, but a great way to put out resources for students. And again, if you've got documents created that you share all the time, upload it to your Google site. Questions, comments, anything? All right, today you learned Drive, Chrome, Forms, Docs, Sheets, Slides, Sites, and a little bit of YouTube. I think we got our Googling us in for it. What do you think?
What is it? I'm not a robot.
Oh, like that, you know, you put in a little code, like, to make sure that you're human and you're actually creating this website. You're not a spammer from Nigeria trying to take people's money.
Okay, so you would click that if you were doing this?
Well, once you create the site, you have to go through where Google can certify that you're a real person.
It'll give you a lowercase W, a 3,
Yeah.
a Z,
Oh,
uppercase
okay.
K.
Yeah, I give you one of those little codes to make sure that you are
But
a
like,
real person.
can you do a little bit of that? Cause like I put in, but it doesn't give me like a,
Well, the process would be I would create a template for my site.
what, so I push blank template,
Okay?
and then I put.
So that's just going to be a blank template. It's not
Right.
going to be
So
anything.
go to Classroom, can we get homework on a weekly basis in this?
You could, if you have your students go to it, yes.
But they'd have to go through Gmail.
No? No. Once you share the link, they can, yeah. Yeah. So this is what the classroom site template looks like.
Okay, I double clicked on mine, it didn't come up with that. I mean, I can do that.
Well, I mean, it's just going to be blank. There's nothing to see. Kind of like the Google form.
Like, did you just click, double click on that classroom site?
No, I clicked on the link here, and then it allowed me to preview.
Preview template?
Yes, and that's what it would look like, if that's the site you
Okay.
choose.
So now I can kind of. Okay.
What did it ask you?
Oh, where it says use template.
Right, these are preloaded templates here. If you want more templates, click on browse, and there are hundreds.
What's the Google domain? One is custom Google.
Your domain would then be, like mine is sites.google.com/Texas School Law. And I own that, that's mine, no one else can use that until I delete the site. That's what makes it. Sounds like I probably should have started with sites.
Dr. Burkett,
Yes,
let's
sir.
go back to your, today's meeting just for a moment. For those of you curious about the online staff development, the website that we've created that we're using, sites.google.com. It's right there on your third link. Yeah.
Did you want to share?
For those of you who are leaving after this session, if you just want to test it as you get home, I'm going to try to do this again with Dr. Burkett's 10:30 session. Also do you have a 1 o'clock session?
I have Twitter this afternoon.
Twitter?
Yeah.
In here?
I'm sorry?
In here?
I guess so. Hope so. Set up here.
This is the website that we've created. Eventually, we hope to start streaming all the sessions, as well as recording and archiving. But right now, if you go to Studio 102, this will give you a thumbnail live view of what's going on in here. And then over on the left-hand side, if you click on the Studio 102, that'll bring up the room right now, and you can see what's going on. There's about a 30-second lag, but if you go to his today's meet, and if you were at home watching the session, you could ask questions that way. So you can test it today if you're really, really bored.
5 minutes. So, any questions as we close out our Google session today? Hopefully, I've met your needs in some way. Yes, sir.
As teachers, do you think, or educators, should we create our own Gmail account, a separate Gmail account?
Yes, I would. You know, my Dr. Jerry Burkett, my account, that's my professional account. I use that tag for my Twitter. I use it for my Google, and that's strictly professional use only. That way, that way it's clean.
If you ever get sued.
Right, I'm sending clean information. I'm getting back clean information. I'm only sharing it with professionals out. You know, I typically have 3 or 4 email accounts. One I use only for shopping and spam. One is a private personal account. One is a professional account. So I use Twitter the exact same way. I have a professional Twitter account. I have a personal Twitter account. I have a spamming Twitter account. That's just me and my advanced Twitter usage. So yes, I would recommend it. It does protect yourself. So you know, if you're planning on using any of these Google applications in your classroom, I recommend you create a Google account that is a professional account and used only for those purposes. And it doesn't complicate your life either. You know, you've got one account for this, you've got one account for that, and if needed, the two shall be. Any other questions?
What's the next level? If we wanted to take the next level class, what would
If we would do Google Advanced, I would like to do. I'd like to spend more time with Chrome. Talk about bookmarking. Talk about creating unique search engines. Really kind of expand the power of Chrome. I dive a little deeper into Sites because I think Sites is a lot here. There's a lot here to use, and it's time consuming, but it's valuable. So I think that would be the next step. And then I think the third part would be, how do we make all of these resources work together? How do we pull our docs in? How do we pull our sites in? There's also something called Google Groups, which is sort of an online discussion board function that I haven't quite figured out how we can use it in education. Any other questions? There's a lot. There's a lot. But what's great about it is you can play with it. There's a lot to play with it, and you can't break it. Can't break it at all. Well, that being said, if you have questions after the fact, here's my email, jerry.burkett@gpisd.com. Or Dr. Jerry Burkett at Gmail. Glad to answer your questions. Thank you for your time. Good luck with Googling this. Go rent the internship with Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson. They try to become interns at Google. It's actually pretty cute movie. where I got the term googliness.